and welcome to GachaCast, the podcast where we talk about gacha games. My name is Mathis,
Mine is Liam.
and we're here today on our first episode to talk about Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yep. But before we get into that, this is our first episode. We should talk a little bit about ourselves. So my experience with the genre is I got Fire Emblem Heroes at launch. I didn't really know what a gacha was at all, because Nintendo was publishing mobile games and that was new. And like Mario Run had come out and I played that. That was pretty good. And I played a little bit of Fire Emblem. Like I played some Blazing Blade emulated when GBA for iOS was still a thing. Rest in peace. My Metal Slug file on that. But so I got that and then I deleted it in like March of the same year, but then I re-downloaded it February 2018. Since then, I've picked up Fate Grand Order, Dokkan Battle, then I dropped Dokkan Battle, then I picked it up again, like, for good. I played Breach Blade Souls, just started Grand Blue Fantasy, like, don't really have anything in that game, and I've tried a couple others. I played Girls Frontline for, like, 5 minutes, played Marvel Strike Force for, like, a couple hours, played Food Fantasy for a week. But that's what I've done with the genre, at least.
As for myself, I started playing gacha games as well at the release of Fire Emblem Heroes. When it was released, I was kind of excited. I had played Fire Emblem games before, and I was interested with the concept. Unlike Liam, I continued playing the game since release. I fell off a bit recently due to getting busy with life. However, I play mostly two gacha games. I play Fire Emblem Heroes, and then I also play Fate Grand Order. I picked up Fate Grand Order earlier in 2018, and I've been playing throughout the year. And that's about where my expertise stops. I also picked up Grand Blue Fantasy recently, but I haven't gotten much into it, and I haven't played nearly as many different games as Liam has.
You know, I actually just realized something that I remembered. My first gacha game wasn't Fire Emblem Heroes. It was actually Doctor Who Legacy.
What?
So Doctor Who made a Puzzle X Dragons game, which if I want to do a Puzzle X Dragons episode where we just cover like all of them, and I'm definitely re-downloading this Doctor Who one. One is a pretty good game because I used to religiously watch Doctor Who. I don't anymore. Don't flame me for not liking, what was his name? Capaldi. I just didn't get into him. Tennant's best Doctor. Don't at me. But yeah, like when I first got my phone, like in 8th grade.
Sounds whack.
Yeah, this game existed, and I don't know, I like Doctor Who, so I got like Infinity Blade and this, and it was good. I didn't realize it was a gacha at the time because I didn't know what a gacha was because I was
It counts.
like 14, but it counts. That was my first.
It counts. Why do you like gacha games?
Why do I like gacha games? I don't know. I really like the whole concept of like team building a lot because I think it's really interesting to have a wide variety of characters that all fulfill different roles and then meshing them together in a way that works. And then I also like the idea of working with what you've got because like I can no longer say I'm permanently free to play because like an hour and a half ago I spent $4 on Bleach Brave Souls on the beginner pack and got myself my 6-star super juiced up Yoruichi, and then we're recording this on New Year's at like 1:30 in the morning. So the Fate Grand Order Grand Summon just opened, and we were freaking out. And I pulled on Caster. First money I ever spent in Fate Grand Order. I pulled on Caster. I got Waiver. I'm happy with that. But Mathis,
I rolled on Zerker because I really wanted Cool Alter, and I did my 10 roll. And at first we got Vlad, and I was like, all right, whatever, we can do the Vlad's our team. That's cool. And then immediately after was Cool Alter, and I was like, oh. And so I had leftover quartz from my summon. I'm like, all right, the Musashi banner also dropped today, so I guess we'll roll for that too. And we did that, and I got Musashi, and I'm like, this is 2019's already off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, so Mathis crushed it with the luck in like
EX luck.
yeah, like 10 minutes, and then I don't know. We both did well. I mean, Raver's like the second best unit in the game now because Merlin's out.
Yeah, I mean they're on the same tier, but definitely people now are just super hype about Merlin because Buster meme team.
Yeah, he also like looks cooler.
That's true.
I will still stand by the fact that Waver is just an Asian man in clothes.
You don't have the sentimental attachment from watching Fate Zero.
No, I don't, because I haven't seen Fate Zero. But
We'll
you know
fix
what?
that.
That's fine. Why do you like Gachas?
Why do I like gachas? I like the micromanaging aspect. I like dealing with limited resources, which of course, like, to some extent is mitigated when you spend money on a game for premium currency. But however, like other materials such as Fire Emblem, you have feathers and metals and like to some degree, it used to be skill inheritance. It was like limited to how many of a character you had.
That's still a thing.
I mean, to an extent, but it used to be a lot worse.
We can talk about that later.
Right. And then like in Fate Grand Order to a much larger degree, you have like materials for each servant that you have to do, and you have to allocate your materials properly. I don't know, it feels like a lot of planning and a lot of fun, like just a lot of little inconsequential but fun managing of things that don't really matter that just kind of makes the day better.
Yeah. So we've talked about why we like gachas, but we haven't really talked about what this show's gonna be. Kind of, we were hoping to make some kind of variety podcast that people who like gachas can listen to, where we just kind of talk about gachas. We'll try out new ones and review them. We'll go to old ones that we like and talk about them. But today we're talking about Fire Emblem because
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Fire Emblem Heroes, the game that I really like, but also has pissed me off recently. Not a ton, but
we would have said it was...
Spoiler alert, it's Surtur's fault.
We can be mad at Surtur in a minute.
Anyway,
Fire Emblem Heroes is the first gacha that we've both been into, like, very intensively.
yeah, because Doctor Who doesn't count.
It counts, but it doesn't count. Like, this is something that we put a lot of time into.
It doesn't count. I didn't know what I was doing.
Like we said before, we both started playing at launch. However, you dropped off at the beginning, and
yeah, I dropped
going.
off. I dropped off at the beginning, and then I lost that account, which pisses me off because I had 2 Spring Camillas.
Yeah.
I could have Camilla Emblem.
You could.
I'm 1 short. I have New Year's Summer normal.
And so we actually have a nice like division of experience here because I played since the beginning and you took a gap and came back later. However, as of recently, because of a lot of things that have been going on, I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the recent news with Fire Emblem, and you have, so
Yeet.
I have a lot of the early experience in like the previous days, and you have a lot of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Also, I feel like a fake fan because also that's a thing. I like Fire Emblem. I've played like 2 hours of Blazing Blade and then this game, and that's it. Meanwhile, I've
played 4, not including the like half playthrough I have of one of the older ones. I don't remember which one it was, but I've played.
Who was in it?
I don't remember at this point.
Oh.
But I played a lot of the recent ones that came up because they're just accessible.
Yeah.
Especially Shadows of Valentia and Three Houses, which will be coming out.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for Three Houses. We're getting a female Axe Lord, and also it looks like she might be able to wield swords, which means we might get customizable units.
That would be cool, actually.
Which I would like.
But yeah, a lot of the reason I picked up this game was that when Nintendo announced it, they were like, mobile Fire Emblem. I'm like, I like playing Fire Emblem a lot, so I wanted to play this game. And at the time, I didn't really know what a gacha was either. I just kind of understood the like random pulling, and I'm like, I really just want to play this as Fire Emblem to go. And then it just kind of evolved into me getting into it more.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So, do you remember when the game launched? It was like there were like 2 banners.
Yeah,
one
of them was like good, and the other one was like.
I legitimately didn't realize the difference. I didn't realize the difference. Well, no, I realized the difference between them, but I didn't understand why. I'm like, but like, why would you split it up? And then they added another banner. I'm like, why isn't it just one?
Because it's focused.
And the thing that kept confusing me is I would look at the list, and
you'd see everything.
The big list was always the same.
Yeah.
Because the 3, the 4, and the 3 and the 4 stars didn't change. I'm like, why are you just changing the 5 stars? That's stupid.
Back in the day, there wasn't that many units in the game.
Back in the day when you would want a Marth.
Oh my god! Back in the day when Mail Robin was like the need. because Takumi was a menace.
Rai was probably still bad, though.
Rai was probably still bad.
Was he even in the game at launch?
Don't remember.
Doesn't matter, because he sucks.
He's still bad.
So anyway, if you've never played Fire Emblem Heroes, first of all, I recommend it.
Yes, I would recommend it.
It's a fun game. It has some of the best gameplay of a gacha that I've played.
Which is to say that, like, it already has a good foundation from being a Fire Emblem.
Because it cheats and it takes a real video game and it just shrinks it down. Because, like, normally in Fire Emblem you have, like, what, a zillion units?
Yeah, you have a zillion units, you have a big map, you have a lot of moving around and stuff.
Yeah, and Heroes you have 4.
Yeah. And the maps are much smaller. Well, it depends what game mode you're playing, which we'll get into later. But, your maps are a bit smaller and you have less units to work with, but in the core of the gameplay, it is still Fire Emblem. You're still using the weapon triangle, the units, the skills, etc.
Yep. It's extremely good if you're a free-to-play player.
Yes.
I'm still free-to-play in Fire Emblem, and I have, like, my personal goal was to have a legendary team for each element of the legendary thing, which is the avatar elements, and I have that. I'm actually working towards 2 now. I have, like, a second fire team that I'm working on. I have 2 earth teams. Water 2 is not going so well. It is currently Fjorm and 3 empty slots. I don't know what I want to do with her.
Yeah, but this game is very, very friendly to free-to-play players. I will make a claim that I cannot absolutely back up because I haven't played every gacha game ever, but I would say this is probably the best game to get into if you want a game that doesn't punish you too hard for not buying premium currency. It gives you a lot of orbs for free to summon with.
It gives you a lot of orbs for free, and it's not like...
And you don't need to have everything either. Like
you can make good... and also, so they give you a bunch of orbs, but they also just give you good units.
Yeah, they just give you good units,
like,
too.
you get... So at this point, if you were to log in, if you were to start Fire Emblem Heroes, a new account today, you don't get the first Brave Summon, yeah? You'd only get the second?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
So I'm pretty sure you only get the second round of Brave Summons, but that's fine. Those units are still good. You would get a 5-star legendary Ike.
Yeah.
Which I still use. He's an amazing unit.
You get
Fjorm
and Ike, which are both two amazing units.
You get Fjorm from beating the first little bit of Book 2, which will also give you orbs and is not hard. You get Air, also a really good unit, from beating the first little part of Book 3, which also gets you orbs. You will get one of your Brave Summons. I recommend Brave Veronica. I think the general internet would recommend Brave Veronica, but pick the one you feel most comfortable with, who looks the coolest. Hector's neat.
But otherwise, like, the game just gives you a ton to work with.
Grand Hero Battles,
you get Tempest Trials all the time, which give you free units and a lot of materials, such as feathers and orbs. You get, since the game's been out for so long, you have a ton of material to work with compared to, like, when I started and it was just Book 1 and you had only what we had.
Yeah.
There's a lot more materials to go out and get, and, like, a lot more content to dig through so you can get started.
And they have the story... Because the main way to get orbs is to just play story missions or paralogs, which are just fake story missions. And those are divided up into 3 difficulties, and each difficulty will give you 1 orb. And each chapter is normally 5 things. So, like, every time a new banner comes out that brings a new chapter, you're getting, like, 15 orbs, plus quests that go along with that. So you normally get 20 orbs from each new banner which is coming out, which is enough for a full summon, but the Fire Emblem summoning mechanic is weird.
Yes.
And it's, in my opinion, the greatest strength of the game.
But otherwise, things you get as a bonus for being a new player. You start at the bottom of the arena tier list, and they've added an update since the beginning of the game. That is, you get orbs from going up tier ranks, so when you start at the bottom, that means you're getting orbs just from, like, participating in the arena, basically.
You get orbs from going down.
Right, that too.
You get 3 orbs, like, every season.
You have access to all the alternative game modes, such as Tap Battle, and I forget what the other ones are. What is it?
There's Tap Battle, there's Aether Raids.
You get Aether Raids,
which
but I was thinking
probably isn't great for new players.
Blessed Gardens, was it?
Oh, yeah, Blessed Gardens. Well, that you need... Well, you get Fjorm and Ike. So
right.
Blessed Gardens
and you get the blessings to make a team too.
Yeah, Blessed Gardens are, like, my favorite thing. because it's a... I'll talk about it later when I talk about Legendary Heroes.
Yeah, but just know that you get a lot of material from that as well.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Legendary Heroes later, because I want to do a whole thing on them, because I like them.
Right, and as we were about to go into, the summoning mechanic of Fire Emblem Heroes is very, very player-friendly.
Yeah, so, in a normal gacha, you just,
You pull from the pool.
You look at the banner, it's got a big pool, and you pull from it, and you're like, I wanted
the
SSR Gogeta, and you roll up, and you get, a Gotenks that you already had, and you feel bad.
Most gachas are, the banners only serve to give you slightly better odds on the one you want, and otherwise you're just pulling blindly from the pool. However, in Fire Emblem Heroes, you get to choose of the 4 colors of the units that you would like to pull from. And while that may not seem like a lot at first when you're new, the ability to choose what color you want to draw through greatly increases your chances of getting the unit you want.
I would go out on a limb and say most of the time when a banner comes out and if I want one unit from the banner, I normally get it.
Right.
I've gotten it, my success rate of the past banners is really good, because also the rates for Fire Emblem's pretty good.
Yes.
And they do pity rates, so
yeah, as you pull, if you don't get 5-star, your rates will increase until you eventually get one.
Yep.
And sometimes you get pity broken on things you don't want, and that happens, but it's all luck in the end. But usually it ends up in you getting the unit you want.
I've been pity broken by bad staff units.
It's also worth noting that your first pull on a banner is 5 orbs. Everyone after that, before the last one, is going to be 4 orbs, and then the last pull of the 5 is going to be 3 orbs.
Yeah, so it costs 20 to do a full, and if you're new to the game, I actually recommend just saving up 20, doing full rolls, unless you specifically want a unit. But if you're new to the game and you don't have anything,
just get as many servants.
Yeah, just go to a cool banner. Right now we have we have 2 winter banners, which are both really cool because winter units are on them.
Right.
Like Erica, my new favorite staff unit. And we also have a legendary hero banner, which is basically IS, who makes the game. They give you a mini Christmas at the end of every month where they're like, hey, remember those old units from the summer that you didn't get? Like Camilla in a bikini and Takumi with... Oh, he's still a bow unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's their convenient mechanism for taking old units that were on old banners and reintroducing them into the pool.
But also, the appearance rate... First of all, you don't get non-featured 5-stars, ever.
Right.
And the appearance rate is 8%, which is a lot.
Yes.
And coupled with the fact that you can choose which colors you want...
To further emphasize how much the choosing a color importance is, a similar thing that happens in Fate Grand Order is that the Grand Summon banners that come around let you choose a class sometimes, and that means a lot. People go absolutely nuts about this, and to consider that...
We just did.
Yeah,
we an hour ago.
And to consider that that's normal practice in Fire Emblem Heroes speaks a lot to how important that is for obtaining units you actually want.
And it's not even just units you want. It's sometimes it's I just don't need...
Correct.
Something.
You can also dodge things you don't need either.
For example, on the new winter banner, it's hey, there's an armored Ephraim with a lance, and I'm I have 2 armored lances right now, being Brave Hector and Joseph Stalin. Pardon.
No.
He's here for the glory of communism.
The USSR is alive and well.
God, I love him.
Oh my God.
I haven't played. He's from he's from Marth Fire Emblem. Yeah, he's from Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
The Mystery of the Emblem. That's the first one. He's a big boy.
Like a Scooby-Doo episode. It's Mystery of the Emblem.
He looks like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Split up and look for clues.
I want to see Marth and... Oh, I don't even know who Marth's retainers are. Jagan?
Feels like a side of beef.
I feel like a side of beef. Scooby-Doo is great.
It is.
New Scooby-Doo on Cartoon Network. Have you seen it?
I have.
It's so disappointing.
It is.
Especially since, the 2012 one was really good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the, 2012, 2013, it's Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It's, an absolute blast. There's that... Did you see that one episode where, Fred goes insane.
Yeah, it was wild.
That was so he gets like a homeless Kratos beard, and like goes absolutely insane. It's amazing. But like Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, good. New Scooby-Doo, bad. Live action Scooby-Doo, beautiful.
Anyway, back to Fire Emblem.
Back to Fire Emblem.
Back to Fire Emblem.
We're talking about Harden.
The last thing I'd like to say for free-to-play accessibility is that low-tier units that normally come at like 3 and 4... So, to quickly describe, units range from 1 to 5 stars, 5 stars being the highest, and most rare units in the game start off at 5 stars. However, lower-tier units will start off at lower stars, such as 3 or 4. However, using feathers, one of the game's in-game materials, you are able to increase the rarity of a star of a servant up to the next tier, and the price of which is determined by what rarity you're bumping up to. But that's also good if you want to take a servant who's normally capped out at the level cap of 40 and increase their stats even further, because when you increase the rarity of a hero, not fate getting unit. When you increase a unit's rarity, it sets them back to level 1, which can be annoying when you have to regrind all the levels. However, it does mean they get increased stats. You can also merge units of like rarity together to give them stat boosts. However, you do lose those bonuses when you increase their rarity, so you want to save that for when you get them to the highest rarity, which is 5.
What it basically means is that you can take low tier units and build
make them better.
And make them good. For example, Reinhardt. Did he start at 5?
He did, and then he got bumped down to 4.
All right,
because I didn't have one for the longest time, and then I got one as a 4.
Because I started almost. I started in the tail end of the Rhine Man's reign. I would go as far to say he is the main character of Fire Emblem Heroes.
Jeez.
I mean,
he's so powerful.
He's amazing. He's a dude on a horse. Magic is everything.
The menace of Arena for months.
And then they made another one who's not as good, but
why would you give him a sword?
He already had a sword in his art.
Yeah,
that's like, so Fate has the why don't archers use bows? Fire Emblem has the guess which one of these guys is a sword user.
God.
Have I shown you that picture?
I've seen it. Anyway.
It's stupid.
So, moving forward from the free-to-play aspect and its benefits from here, what do you like and dislike the most about this game?
So we already talked about the summoning. Summoning's cool.
Summoning is cool. I
really like Legendary Heroes. One, because their banners are fun, because you get a bunch of cool units. Like, I got New Year's Camilla in the middle of July. I just got it. I didn't want her, but
Christmas in July.
I just got her, and now I have her, and I'm one step closer to Camilla Emblem. But the other thing with Legendary Heroes is that they all have like special, either like currently it's been B or C skills that are only equipable by them, and some of them are just like good, but most of them try to push you towards a certain way to team build. My best example of this would be Legendary Hector, who has Ostia's Pulse, which she has special moves in Fire Emblem Heroes, like most other Gachas units have special moves. Basically, he reduces the cooldown to all allies, but it only works if you have like a variety. It works like a tactic, which is another skill that grants bonuses to allies, but only if they're like different movement types. Like there's armor, there's armor, infantry, cavalry, flying. That's it. Yeah, just those 4. So you need like a mix. So if you want to put Hector on a team, you should have like a mix, or you could completely ignore that and make an armor team with him like I did, but I'm a bad example.
And sometimes having 4 of the same unit is also good, because there's some there's
hones.
Yeah, there's hones and sports that work with that.
But like Legendary Heroes, they all have like really cool effects. They're all like, so Fire Emblem has a lot of alts, which is like heroes in alternate costumes. And as much as I like seasonal stuff, like I love Santa Erica. I think it looks great. She looks adorable. I really like the unit, but like sometimes it's just nice to see your favorite unit just look really conventionally cool. Like Hero King Marth.
Yeah.
Hero King Marth looks rad.
He does.
He looks so cool. And like Legendary Bolin versus non-Legendary Bolin. She looks great. Legendary Erica looks good. but it's like it's just like your favorite unit, but like super, and they're really cool. So I really like legendary units. I like the summoning mechanic, and then I like the like. So you do team building in this game, but I think even more important than team building is unit building because of skill inheritance, and you can basically customize your unit to be whatever you want it. Like my like Shigure, who used to be my summoner support until Air came out and she stole my heart. But Shigure was just like, he's just like, his banner was, I'm not talking about Dancer Shigure, by the way. I'm talking about Lancer Shigure, the flying one. He just came out and I saw Harmonic Lance at noontime and I'm like, that's kind of cool. So I built him up to just be this absolute machine that can special like either every turn or every other turn. So he just keeps on healing. And it's like, you can do stuff like that. You can make Harden heal people. You can make your flying Ninian be a bow killer.
You can turn your Sakura into an unkillable death machine.
Oh, yes, like yours.
God, I love my Sakura.
But this, not distant counter, close counter.
Close counter.
Close
counter, close defense.
Yeah, that's something I kind of dislike about Heroes is you're like, oh, I really want to make this unit and I love it so much, and then you're like, oh, I don't have the skills to do it.
And there's you gotta sacrifice for what you love.
And they do like, so like Heroes normally start out at 5 stars, and then they get demoted, and then they can go to the general pool. Except for like, like summer and winter.
Yeah, other than seasonal exclusives,
yeah, normally
new units will normally, as time goes on, get moved down so they're more accessible.
But we haven't gotten good demotes in a while.
Yeah.
And for example, there's still no 4-star distant or close counters.
Which there definitely should be.
Which there should. Well,
Takumi should be.
Takumi is a 4-star, but you have to boost him to 5, which is fine. But Takumi's like the only one.
Right. But, like, as for distant counter, there's no real good...
Well, it's literally only on Hector, yeah?
And so, because everybody else has it built into the weapons, such as Ike and Fjorm.
Fjorm and Harden. Not Surtur, thank God.
Thank God.
I'm gonna rant about Surtur right now.
Go for it. That'll be under dislike.
He's so, like... I understand IS wanting to make powerful units, so you buy orbs, so you go and get the units.
It's also interesting for players too.
It is interesting. I personally don't mind a small amount of power creep, because more interesting things are coming out. Like, I saw this great post on the Reddit that was like, power creep is kind of cool because there are all these new skills that we're getting, like even and odd waves, and like there's a bunch of stuff on the Winter Sakura that we've never seen before, and it's like, oh, these are really interesting things I could put on these units. But Surtur is just too... Like, I pulled a Surtur, and he's disgusting.
He's gross.
He's so...
as somebody who has this unit, can tell you, it's gross.
It's disgusting, and it's... He just has too much going for him. The only thing he doesn't have...
Big angry power man.
He's first of all, armored units have better stats than non-armored units because they're supposed to have a negative penalty of not being able to move as far. Yeah, well, armored boots exists, which makes you move more, so that doesn't actually happen. Surtur's weapon is Sinmara, which, might 16, whatever, grants def 3, whatever. At the start of turn, deals 20 damage to foes within 2 spaces. That's just stupid.
If you are near the beef man, you get hurt.
You die, and it's not fun at all. Like, I remember running into like those staff teams that is like, or not teams, those staff units that's like Wrathful, Dazzling, and then they have like Savage Blow and then Savage Blow Seal.
Yeah,
it's like that, but I don't go, oh, you spent a ton of time building that. It's like, oh, you just got lucky on the Surtur.
You just pulled Surtur.
That's the worst thing about Surtur, is that it's all there. You don't need to.
You don't have to work for it.
He already, like, he's fully stacked. The only thing he's missing is like a green skill, which is like reposition or something. My dog just woke up and spooked us. But you don't need one. He has Steady Stance 4, which not only does it just buff his stats, it also now does special cooldown charge because I don't care.
Here's the thing too, is like you look at Suitor and you're like, did he need steady stance 4?
No.
No.
And Deathblow 4 was just the extra to attack.
Right. And it wasn't like it made a big difference, but also didn't. It was new because you were like, oh, this is +4 and this is like kind of a unique.
It's got a yellow border.
Right, but then steady stance 4, it's like you get it and you're like, whoa,
why? And
it basically could become a new skill by itself.
Yeah, and then Wary Fighter 3 is just a fighter skill. It's probably the worst fighter skill, but it's still a fighter skill. Those are all good. I would know. I use a bunch of armors. And then Surtur's Menace, which is, hey, if you're in the range of taking the 20 damage from his big stupid axe, also, he's gonna, like, vampire suck your stats away. And he's so stacked, stat-wise, that, like, it's really hard to just kill him. It's really hard to just take him out. And it's annoying as hell, and Surtur, like...
Takumi 2, Surtur time.
Yeah, but, like... Takumi was in the very beginning of the game when it was like, oh, this guy's good because, like, he hasn't gotten a counter yet. Maybe Surtur's just waiting for that counter to happen, but I feel like it should... Like, I have my armor normal girl Tharja, and I throw her up against Surtur, and she, like, only does, like, 20. And then, like, he just
her like a truck.
Yeah, and he just kind of turns around and hurts her, and I'm like, why did you do that to my friend, my confidant, Tharja? I like Tharja. You know what?
You good on the Surtur rant?
No, I'm good on the Surtur rant, but I can go into something else. So this is both a like and a dislike. So one of the things that I think is really cool is the amount of alts that you get for characters, because you get to see characters in funny clothes or wielding different weapons, and this is my problem, is when you have a bunch of alts, but all of them wield the same weapon. And my two examples for this are Camilla and Tharja. I think Camilla's alts are great. They all look pretty good. They're all neat. Some of them are unnecessary. Looking at you, Adrift Banner. You could have done like any other character for Fates.
You could
in a dress. Balecorn in a dress is beautiful, by the way. Not dissing Adrift Banner. Kind of am. But like every single Camilla unit, I think except for Adrift, uses like a new weapon that Camilla hasn't had before.
Right.
Because
it went axe, tome.
It went axe, green tome, sword, blue tome. I think Adrift might have been blue tome again. Could be wrong. But like that's cool because I'm like, oh, Camilla has a wide variety of weapons. Then you look at Tharja alts and it's like, all right, so you got a red tome, and then you got a red tome. And you got a red tome.
Yeah, you got a red tome.
And I'm sitting here like, why did you do that? And then you look at Takumi and it's like, well, at least one of you has a knife, but you're all still colorless.
To be fair, I feel like if colorless or colored daggers and bows had been introduced back in the time when they were making new ults for them, I feel like they would have given him a color of some sort.
Yeah, but like, just give him a sword.
Give him a sword.
If you're gonna give Gunther a sword, give Takumi a sword.
You could do a cool alternate timeline thing where it's like, what if Takumi was like
Norian?
the Hoshiden, or like the Hoshiden heir as you went Nor, and he ended up taking. Yeah, I know you didn't play these games, but like, there's a part of the story where you have to go get Yato from a mountain.
Yeah.
And the thing is you get there and they're like, oh yeah, also X person from the other side also did this.
Oh.
And so instead of having like, I don't know, Ryoma or something do it, you could be like, hey, what if Takumi got it?
New wacky better idea that would be really annoying because they would all be red, but it's like everybody from Fates gets a Yato.
Everybody in Fates gets a Yato, even Silas.
Oh my god, no, what if it wasn't even the Royals, it was the Jobbers?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a banner with...
Flora gets us.
I need a banner with Perry... Owain... No, not Owain.
Odin. No, Owain deserves it.
Odin...
Just put him in the game.
Give Owain a Falchion. Okay, the best alt ever for Owain. Dual wielding a Falchion and the Auto Blade. And he's I am the true hero of Fire Emblem.
He's a legend.
And he turns left and he hits you in the face with his massive dick, and then he appears in 2 games simultaneously.
Owain's amazing.
Did you see that comic that was like, it was Lissa And then she's like, oh, wait. And it's like, oh, you're my son from the future. Oh, that's cool. And then it's like, oh, wait, now I'm in a different game and I'm marrying this person. And she's like, okay. And then that was Ophelia. And then it was like Ophelia and Corin. And then it was Kana. And then it's like Alyssa is a great grandmother.
Whoa.
Because Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Games are fun. Anyway.
At least Lucina can't become her own mom. That'd be weird.
That'd be very strange.
That doesn't happen.
I'd have to talk to Nintendo about that.
I'd have to talk to Crom about that.
I'd have to call Reggie and be like, hey, are you guys okay over there?
Listen, like, we can talk it out, Reggie, and the rest of you.
Anyway, have you covered your general likes and dislikes?
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I like the game. As much as I complain about things, I think it's a good game. I wish we got a little more variety in content. I wish the writing was a little bit better. But
that's something I'll go into my section about.
I definitely see the... Actually, yeah, you just go.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to quickly talk about the things I like about this game. It's not as intensive. However, the thing I like about the game the most is that it is Fire Emblem. Like, it takes from Fire Emblem, and because of that, they can take a lot of interesting gameplay mechanics from that. Specifically, as time's gone on and I've had my experience with the game, they've added difficulties and made harder and harder
this game is hard.
Yeah, it can get really, really hard. And there was like a large aspect of it in the beginning of using your limited free servants as free to play, your units. You use your limited You use your limited units to beat really hard challenges. Like, you think of the Narcian GHB at the beginning, and it was ridiculously hard. Nobody could beat the hardest difficulty on that. Nowadays, you could steamroll that thing with, like, any units you have.
My armor team can beat it.
Yeah. So, like, there was a lot of challenge. And then as time goes on and more units came in and powerful skills, you lost some of that challenge, but they compensated for that by adding higher difficulties and higher challenges. And I really like that aspect about it, where, like, if you want to play this game as, like, a high strategy game, like a lot of Fire Emblem games are, like, on consoles, you can do that, and that's really engaging.
And they also...
It pairs well with the quality of life changes they do, where it used to be you'd have to pay stamina for those events, and that'd be really annoying because you'd burn through all your stamina pots just trying to try out new strategies and stuff. And then they saw that, and they made it free, and they added a lot of other stuff, too, like easier resets, unit reorganizing before the match starts. It's...
They added that one unit reset glitch.
Oh, that was weird.
That's hilarious.
But like they put a lot of care into making sure the gameplay aspect of it feels very good to do. What were you gonna say if you still wanted to cover it?
Sometimes I wish the difficulty was a little bit more dynamic in the fact that
right, and
like Narcian GHB was hard because one Narcian. But also, like, oh, this is a wacky map design. I can't crack it with my units. Meanwhile, Valite. So, oh wait, isn't Val the place where they go?
I don't know.
At the end of Revelations.
I don't know. I'm not a simple.
Valite Songstress Azura, which is the current new legendary hero battle. You know why hers is hard? Because there's 5 turns of reinforcements after turn 1. Jesus Christ, IS.
Right, and
why do you do this?
I'm gonna get to that in a second, but I have despite the semi-long list of dislikes I'm about to go into, I will say I really do like this game. I enjoy it a lot. However, one of the things you were about to say that I'm gonna bring up is that sometimes the difficulty is artificial. Sometimes the way things get harder is not because a lot more thought was put into it. It's because things are just inflated. Like, units will just get harder, and it's just harder to deal with. You'll add more reinforcement waves, or, like, they'll just be kind of unfair setups, like the Narcian one, where it's like sometimes you just lose because you can't get around the fact that, like, you get stuck.
Well, like, the Narcian one is like, I see that as, like, that's a clever map design that you have to get around.
That's one of the first ones, too. It gets worse as time goes on.
Yeah, it definitely gets worse.
But, like, I don't know. I'll summarize a lot of my dislikes into 3 categories. That'll be the first. The second one I'm going to go to is the story. It's no secret. Hear me out. So I am extremely biased because I do play Fate Grand Order, and for those who are uninitiated, that game has a very good story. It puts a lot of effort into making sure it's, like, well written.
It has. I don't know. Okay, so here's my thing. I don't know if the story of Fate Go is good, but the writing is good.
Yeah.
Characters have roles, and they come out, and they talk well, and, like, the story is good enough.
Yeah.
It is pretty good for the most part.
It's at least, I feel, engaging.
It's not, like, an amazing, like, big It ain't no Asura's Wrath,
but
but
right, like, but the problem is with Fate Grand Order, they clearly had a mission they were set out to do from the get-go. When you do Fire Emblem Heroes, you get the feeling, which isn't hard to see, that in the beginning they were very much meandering their way through the story. Like, they were just kind of...
Book 1 isn't a story.
Yeah, Book 1 isn't a story. They just kind of put pieces together, and that was all they had at first, which was fine. And then as they go on, they're trying to make more of a grand story into it.
Which is why they have all these OCs now.
Right, which is why they're adding so many, like, game-specific characters.
Like Surtur.
But they also struggle a lot with the fact that, like, because they didn't have a strong foundation to start with, they're really trying to, like, work their way back from... They're trying to work their way forward while also trying to fix what they couldn't have before.
And they have, like... They have, like, a Norse mythology theme, which is cool. I like it. But I wasn't going anywhere.
The main problem is that, to me personally, it is not as engaging as it could be, but I do believe it'll eventually get there, so long as they continue good habits.
Book 3 definitely, or I can already see.
Book 3 has the potential to continue the good trend of good or better writing.
Yeah, well, because
for the story.
Because Book 1 like wasn't a story.
Book 1 wasn't a story. Book 2
was
tried, but I feel towards the end
some characters fell apart.
Yeah,
I think as much as I like Lavatane, she didn't get much.
No.
Lejarn got
Gunther.
Okay, spoilers for Book 2 of Fire Emblem Heroes, which, I mean, it's not an amazing story, so you probably shouldn't care all that much. Gunthra is this, like, beautiful lady that's, like, tempting your dreams, and she's like, oh, come save me, and then you meet her, and she's dead.
She's helping you on your grand quest, and then you get there, and she's just gone.
She's, like, you meet her, and she dies, and then it's like, oh, okay.
And, like,
and then Fjorm's sad.
That
made me sad, because I like Fjorm.
I'd feel bad about spoiling that, but at the same time, there was no... The payoff was terrible.
It's not great.
Like, it was so much build. It was an entire story's worth of build-up for the book, and then it was just kind of wasted.
Yeah.
Instantly. And I remember at the time, too, specifically, like, even everybody on the discussion was like, that was not a good way of handling that, and it kind of ruined the build-up for it.
Yeah, and then, like, some units are good. Some people get better rating than others. Personally, I don't like Sharina's writing that much. It's very one-note, in my opinion. It feels like she's the happy one, and that's all she does.
Right, and it goes back to the whole their foundation wasn't strong.
Well, because in the beginning they're like, we have 2 OCs and Anna, who's not an OC but kind of an OC.
Anna can do whatever she wants because there's a new Anna at every Fire Emblem.
Give me an Anna ult, IS.
I digress. The story not great, but it could get there in the future. The third problem I have with the game is the fact that, like, as of recently, I don't want to say that this game hasn't made efforts to try new things and add new things to do. You just had Aetherids come in recently, and
Aetherids are cool.
Yeah, Aetherids are cool and they're interesting, and they just add a new concept. However, I would say compared to other games I've played, this game doesn't do a whole lot to keep me interested over a long amount of time. Like, going back to Fate Grand Order, because it is the secondary game I play, they do a good job of keeping you strung along and keeping you interested with a varied event release list. And I want to say that that's not Fire Emblem's fault, but I do want to say that, like, Fire Emblem Heroes does not do a good job of making new things happening. Like, you have Tempest Trials,
yeah, but it's like, I don't know, Fire Emblem's events don't feel like events.
They don't. It just feels like the thing that's there.
Yeah, because they happen so often. Like, they have Grand Conquest. Well, you have Tap Battle, which used to be an event, is now just permanent.
Yeah.
Which I like. By the way, we haven't explained Tap Battle. It's
a rhythm game.
Is a rhythm game, which uses Fire Emblem music, which is okay. It's cool. Right. You can do fun things like put a bunch of the same unit down and then be like... Yeah, I remember when I was doing it with Shigure team, it was like we get to the hot tub and it was like Shigure and then Bridal Ninian, Legendary Lyn, and Bridal Tharja, and I'm like, you deserved it, my friend.
Good job. But the problem, like we were saying, is like when they come so frequently and they're so
the same.
They're so similar to each other that you tend to lose the special feeling from it, and then it becomes a core part of the game. And that problem leads that where you'll log in at some point and be like, this is all the stuff we've had before, and I'm not terribly interested in doing it again. Like, for me, especially, I want to say Tempest Trials, where it was like, in the beginning, I really liked the concept. I lived when they came around. It felt very special. But the thing is, they come around so often now. I don't get very excited about them. Like they come and I'm just like, I don't want to grind that again. I don't want to do it. I just did it.
For example, and funny thing that just happened. My phone just updated.
No.
The New Year's banners just dropped, which is cool. But that being said, so
New Tempest Trials.
yeah, there's new Tempest Trials. But the thing is, the old Tempest Trials, like literally just ended like 2 days ago.
It's too soon.
It's too soon, and it's not this. And the other thing
It's too soon, and it's not different from each other
it doesn't,
enough.
Yeah, the thing is with the Tempest Trials is normally the maps are kind of themed, like the Christmas ones were snowy. Normally the last map is like new and cool and features a certain unit, and the last map is neat. But and the unit you get from Tempest Trials is cool. And there's a little dialogue at the beginning and a little dialogue at the end. But like that's it. Compare that to Fate Go, where like some of them are stories.
Fate Go has like entire. They really commit to the whole. This is an event thing.
Yeah, for the summer one, like you fought a bunch of pigs. It was something.
Right, and they don't shoehorn it in. It's like every part of it is. Like as you go, you unlock new things. It feels different, and that keeps you playing.
You got to fluff Tamamo's tail and build a giant statue of her.
But especially with Tempest Trials, you get into these events, and it's like, I remember I sit there, I autoplay like I got to the point where I just started autoplaying despite the fact that it's stamina inefficient because I just didn't care. None of the maps felt fun to play at some point after you do them for the 100th time.
That being said, we didn't mention. I didn't mention. This game has an auto battler. Not every gacha has it.
That is a good part.
Great.
That is amazing.
It is not. It is not my favorite auto battler. That's Bleach's auto battler is, finger licking good.
But that's my point. Is that it's like it's not to say that Fire Emblem Heroes has not put in an effort to add new things to their game, which they totally have. It's that the things they like to call events are not events. They're just parts of the game.
They haven't had an event, in my opinion, ever. Well,
right. I feel
the
like
first time.
Yeah,
they do. Okay, so here's the closest thing that they've had to event recently, in my opinion. Remember when Air came out and there was Hero Fest? And you got those summon tickets? That felt different.
But the thing is, as they do it more and they don't change anything, it feels less like an event and more just like a thing the game is.
Well, like I just checked on the New Year's banner. There's like the icon for tickets, so I assume we're going to be getting tickets.
Right.
Which I'm not against. I love when games let me summon for free. Thank you. But it just becomes more of the same, which is like
it's monotonous. You lose the special feeling you get from it. And I'd like to return to what I said before. It's like, despite me saying all of this, I do like this game. Yes. I like this game a lot. I still play it. I do fall off sometimes when I get busy, but that's the way life is. But I want to say it's like, despite all my negative things about it, I do like playing this game. It's just that if the events were better, I'd come to the game a lot more. Like, I'd have more reason to play more if they were just more engaging.
If they were, like, I would like a little more writing and things. Like,
right.
And like, new units will come out, and the paralogue will come out, and it'll be like, oh, you get, like...
Sometimes they're just really short in.
Well, it's like you get, like, 4 lines of dialogue for each new unit. And I want to hear funny stories about, like, Ephraim getting his lance caught in a Santa hat or something.
Yeah, or some, like, neat interaction with, like... I don't know, between the characters or, like, between somebody you have or whatever.
That being said, the winter paralogue, the Christmas one, the interaction between Ephraim and Elisina, I don't know her. Yeah, where have you played it yet?
I don't think so.
So he's there and he's like, oh, you're like this famous mage general, I've heard of you. And she's like, oh, well, thank you for hearing me of you, that's so nice of you. And he's like, hey, could you maybe teach me magic? She's like, you have no aptitude. No. and it's like that's
just not.
I liked that a lot.
Like, and those are the neat parts.
They're just few and far between.
There just needs to be more of those, I feel.
Yeah, that's the best thing they could do for their game is that, and like legitimately, I know gachas don't like nerfing things, but nerf Surtur. Just please.
It feels bad because, especially in these instances, people pay a lot of money to do this.
Yes,
it's very, very risky to nerf things like that because people are like, I spent all this money on this unit.
Yeah, and it's, but like
you can accidentally back yourself into a corner
into like a legal corner.
Yes,
and stuff. But it's like, Surtur's so good.
It's so good.
Surtur's disgusting.
He might just be a problem they have to work around with. They might find a way to conveniently fix him in a certain way. But for now, he remains a problem.
Like, the easiest fix in my mind is if this would be just a straight nerf. But if you take the 20 damage off of Sinmara, I think he's balanced. I think he's still extremely stacked, and I still think Surtur's Menace is a disgustingly good C skill. But like, it's just the fact that if you attacked a unit into Surtur, he would counterattack you. You would take damage. Then you would take damage from Sinmara, and then he would attack you. Like, literally nothing is surviving that.
Right.
You have to have either your own Surtur or, like... I was about to say Lucas, but, no, he's blue. So,
Wow.
I don't know, like... Tiki?
I don't know.
Tiki could probably take it.
Anyway, I'd like to take this moment, and we're gonna, because the conversation kind of worked its way here, to talk about some of the new things that came in the game.
Yes, like,
Book 3.
Book 3. So, first of all, Book 3 trailer, love it.
Book 3 trailer, also known as We Got the Rights.
Oh my god, it's so edgy, and I love it.
It's so funny. Nope. I remember when it came out, everybody's like, this is a really cool trailer. Also, why?
It's so wacky. But yeah, so Book 3 came out, let's see, we got some new OCs. We got Air.
We got Air.
I like her. We got Hel, the goddess of death. She gives me kind of like, this is weird for like a Norse mythology themed game. I say that with air quotes because it's barely, but like, she reminds me more of like, Mexican, like Day of the Dead stuff.
Yeah.
Because of like the paint and the,
Yeah.
We got her, and then we got Leaf and the girl, the lady. I forget her name. They're cool.
They're cool, and we both agree that the character designs are
the character
neat.
designs are really nice, and I kind of want to see, because they.
I will fully admit I'm not as hype about Air as you are, but you were super on board with that.
I'm super on board with. I made Air. Listen, I loved my summoner support is basically like, hey, this is your favorite unit, so they're gonna get. It's not just your favorite unit; they get stat bonuses, which is really cool. But it's like, I switched my summoner support to Air literally as soon as I got her. And then I got lucky because on the Hero Fest banner I pulled 2 more, so now she's 40 plus 2. If you want access to a 40 plus 2 Air, add me. I'm Dude. That's my name on the thing.
You can put the code later, but
maybe.
A few things I'd like to say about Book 3. Positives, like we said before, the story is going in a good direction. They have the opportunity to make it better.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say Shireena's probably gonna die.
Okay, that's what I was about to say is the negative. Why would they put that in the trailer?
It is weird.
I brought this up to the point where it's like, if they were going to do that, that's cool, that's fine. They might have an interesting thing
That's
to
a
do
lot
with
of
that.
stakes.
Why would they put that in their trailer? Why would they reveal who they might be doing it to, like, in the promo material for the very beginning? Like, you kind of... Unless they're going to bait and switch us, which they totally could. If that's actually what's going to happen, why would you do it?
It would... It's not just her in the trailer, it's the loading screen, too.
Like...
I don't know why they would spoil it. It is annoying. I assume it's going to happen, like... It has to happen in, like, chapter 3 or 4.
It has to.
Because, like, the books are only, like, 13, 14 chapters long. We normally get about 1 a month. So it's about a year. Because we got 2 when it came out, and that was in December. So then I would imagine we get... It'll probably wrap up around, like, November of 2019.
Yeah, like... I don't know, it's a very... We have yet to see how it goes so far. However, if it is the way we are thinking it's going to happen, I question their decisions.
Yeah. Let's see. Air the unit.
You can talk a lot more about
Not
this.
not just the character, the unit. Oh my god. So much fun. Like, it's great. She has, like, a kind of fury effect built into the weapon that's, like, it's not stat boosts. It's like, if your health is over a certain threshold, then some stat boosts, and then you get damage dealt to you at the end. But then she also has a skill that heals her whenever she attacks, so you actually net, like, 2 life per attack. She has a skill that's, like, whichever unit took the most damage this round just gets healed for 10 at the end of the turn, which is crazy. Did I put Swift Sparrow on her? No, she comes with Swift Sparrow. And she's a flying dagger. I would go... What are the other good dagger units in this game?
I don't know off the top of my head. There's not a lot of them.
I would go on a limb and say she's probably the best dagger yet.
I feel like that would be
At the very least, best colorless, because I know.
Yeah, there's been ads of
Fiora, not Fiora. Is it Fiora? The maid, Flora. The blue-haired maid.
Yeah, Flora.
Yeah, Rem. Anyway, she just like kills tanks, which is neat. And Yiggler.
Yiggler jiggle?
Loki.
Loki.
That is also pretty good. But like, I'd go as far as to say she's the best dagger unit. She's pretty as hell. She's great. She throws daggers good. I made a full color when I got her. I made a full colorless team. No, not when I got her. When I got Christmas Erica, I made a full colorless team of Brave Lynn, Brave Veronica, Christmas Erica, and her, and it was like literally the most fun I have had playing this game, because it was like I had like 2.5 healers, like no one was dying. I was just throwing Bolin into people, and she would like go down to like 3, and I'd just be like, oh nope, you're fine again.
And I'd said this earlier too, where I was like, that's like the feeling I got when I made my Don't Die Sakura. It's like she'll drop to 1 and never leave because nobody can kill her.
Please explain that unit to me.
So you put your Dazzling Staff on there to actually make it do damage.
Yeah.
Then you have.
Do you have Wrathful as well?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I haven't looked at her.
Because I know for most staff units, it's like you can refine into one of them, and then you put the other on B.
Hers is the refine. I think I have the option to, but I don't know if I did.
All right. He's checking right now.
I have not, but I have the Fear Plus enhanced currently.
All right.
I could do that in the future if I have the ability to. However, you also have Martyr, which is damage taken by her. You can heal to somebody else, and then you also heal a bit of that back to her as well.
Yep.
Then you have Miracle, or is it Miracle? Is it? Yeah, it's Miracle, which is the special that is if you were to die, don't. So she can just tank a hit, go down to 1, and then heal somebody, and then get almost all of that health back. She has Close Counter because that allows her to get damage on melee units.
Actual damage.
Yes. She has Vantage to make sure that when she's low, she doesn't die. She has Fortified Def, but that's just because I didn't really have a good skill at the time to put there.
Dude, what if you put like what's lower, res or def? What if you put like Def Wave on her or something?
That'd be
like
dumb.
every other turn she just bumps up the 30 defense and is like, "Hey kids."
Hey kids. And then her S slot is the close def to give her more def from melee attackers because she's squishy.
And how many merges does she have?
She's at +2.
That's not even that many.
It's not, but I'm working on it. It's a silly unit. I love it a lot. But back to the topic at hand. Talking about Air, I don't know a lot about it. I haven't used it very much, and that's all I have to say really about it.
You get one of her for free. She also has the new thing on her that. So they were legendary heroes, and you could put blessings on them, and they got little bonuses depending on what season it was. Now they have mythical heroes, which is like the same thing, but only for Aether raids. Kind of annoying that you can't have both a mythic blessing and a legendary blessing at the same time, because like I know personally, I want to put Air on one of my like legend teams,
right?
Because she's good, but like I can't because she's stuck being a light unit.
Hey Liam.
What?
Speaking of Aether raids.
Speaking of Aether raids, that's next.
I'll let you take the show here because I haven't delved a lot into this, but
for context, we have like a list of things that
we have a list we're going off of talking points, but talking about Aether raids.
Aether raids. So
describe it real quick.
Aether raids is, I think the most important part of Aether raids is the fact that you can make your own map.
It is.
That's the
Fire Emblem Maker.
Fire Emblem
2018.
Oh my god. I want Fire Emblem Maker on Switch. Like,
do it.
Nintendo. Like,
I'd pay money for that.
What if? Okay. So like, what if you took, like, every unit from every Fire Emblem from like, let's say Ike onward. You have access to like all of those, plus like the villains, plus like some generics. And, like, you can make maps, and then you can, like, give units.
Yeah, it'd be cool, too, if you could set, like, preset units you have to use for them. Because it'd be like a puzzle game. You solve puzzles in Fire Emblem, or do dumb stuff. Watch Ike kill everybody on the map.
Donald.
Donald!
It's a shame. It's a shame that It's a shame that Donald isn't good in Heroes.
My first map would be Donald Leveling Simulator. It'll be a hallway with one healer and Donald, and then just a giant trough of just units to feed into him.
Of just swordsmen.
No, it'll be units that can't hit him. It'd be like people without swords, and you just run Donald into them and just get XP.
Oh.
Anyway, moving away from my hypothetical.
You can, and there's like cool buildings that you can do with it, like healing towers and shock towers and statues of Faye, the owl, not the game or the character.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Nintendo, why did you not even Nintendo, IS. Why did you do that?
Because they were like, oh, let's just name our owl the acronym for the game. And they're like, oh yeah, this could never go wrong ever.
Christ. That was
Faye.
That's an honest to God. You have Faye, and Faye, and that's an honest to God mistake. All right, IS. I know you can't change it now, but whatever. Anyway, so attacking is neat. Defending is weird because, like, so this game's PvP runs off of you put
AI
a team.
Controls
you put a team out there and AI controls it, and a lot of times you can abuse the ever living hell out of the AI motions and just win without any difficulty.
Right. And that's part of Fire Emblem 2's AI manipulation. However, sometimes AI just kind of like to not think and just die.
I really, really hate it when AI just like jump forward and then reposition backward. I'm like, that's not why I did that. Anyway, Aether Raid. Defending has become a lot harder because you can control where the units are placed, so you can actually do more AI manipulation on your part because you can like lock them behind buildings so they can't move. Let's see what else. The way it works, the cost is that you have a pool of ether, which is gained and depleted. It's gained every day by like your ether amperage or something. No, the fountain makes it. The amperage holds it.
Your ether sippy cup.
It's like a.
You get your water bottle and go to camp.
It's like a kidney. Holds your ether. Anyway.
Ether is stored in the heart.
So you get some every day, and then you can do it. So you can only do a couple a day, which that's one of the things. I think the cost is really high. I like that lower tiers cost less and higher tiers cost more, but I think it should cap at 50. Because right now I have my max is 200. So like if I had 50, they give you one free run a day, which is nice. Thanks, IS. They also give you a bonus for doing it every day at least 5 times. You will get something stones, which are used for putting buildings down on your. So the way Aether Raids is explained is like you have flying castles,
and you have them get higher in the air,
and you have them fight, and that's
not a castle in the sky.
Yeah. And you put buildings on the castles via these rocks. You also get grails, which are grails. Let me give a big shout out to IS grails. For literally fixing Tempest Trials with grails, because it used to be, hey, you're a Tempest Trial unit, well, you can't get any merges of them ever, or get like fodder their skills ever, because they only appear during like Tempest Trials, and that's it.
Yeah,
but now rare. But now you have this currency that you can just spend on them, and like it's kind of hard to get grails. Like they're not super free flowing, but you start with 200. You can get some good stuff going.
I'd just like to, for everybody listening, I'd like to point out, try to imagine 200 cups. That's a lot of cups. Now imagine throwing a bunch of cups at your favorite unit. Hi, welcome to Fire Emblem.
That's like, and the other thing is the units you can get with grails are not bad units.
They're not.
Looking at you, Black Knight.
Black Knight's good. For those who don't know, Black Knight, when he came out, everybody was like, oh.
Black Knight was like...
This unit's good.
I don't know exactly, because I've been playing for a while, but I want to say he was like the first big good armor.
Yeah, well, no, it was like the first big good armor that you could easily get. Because, like, you
could buy him.
Oh, Black Knight's hot.
You could buy him with money. That was the thing. You could buy the beginner's pack. Can you still do that? I'm gonna check.
I think it's just one per purchase. Like it's always available to you.
Yeah. Which
that is, by the way, if you're gonna spend money on this game, which I'm not saying you should because you don't have to for Fire Emblem, like we said before. If you're gonna spend any money, packs like that definitely where you want to spend.
Beginner packs. Well, that's like the only money I think I'm ever gonna spend on Bleach is their beginners pack is $4.
Yeah.
That sounds like a decent amount of money for a mobile game. For a gacha, that's nothing.
Yeah, no, $4 chump change.
$4 for whatever else was in the pack. I don't even remember. I don't even think it matters. The main thing is there is a pool. They give you a ticket, a summon ticket that says, "Hey, you want to just get a fully leveled, fully grinded 6-star unit?" For context, you can't even pull 6 stars. You pull 5 stars, and then you have to grind them to 6 stars. They give you, like, a fully grinded, leveled, everything character. And you even get to get some kind of choice in the matter, because it's a pool of 15, 5 are randomly chosen, then you get to pick one. I picked a waifu.
Yeah, Black Knight's good.
Black Knight is good. Black Knight is also a waifu.
Black Knight's a waifu.
Remember the bridal sketches of Black Knight? Those are really good. If you can find those. It's Black Knight in a dress. Those are great. But like beginner packs like that, that's where you should be putting your money. But that's like really good, and I like the fact that grails exist. I like the fact that you can get them. I wish Ether Raids capped at 50. I think Ether Raids right now are a little annoying because of things like Surtur, Veronica, and Bravelyn, like those 3 units.
Your true nature shows when you talk about a new topic and you're like, I think that Surtur...
I think that Surtur is a problem because he is... But, like, it shows. And that's... Man, it's really annoying when you're playing, like, Grand Conquests, and you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm making good time, and then, like, a Surtur pops up, and he just kills 3 units, and I'm like, I lose now.
Well, I guess this is how it is. Surtur. That being said, Surtur the character, I love, because he's just Ganondorf. Yeah.
He's just Ganondorf, but he lights himself on fire. I don't think Ganondorf does that. Demise does that, kind of. I
mean, he's got, like, Warlock Flame. Or
yeah.
That kind of counts.
Yeah, I don't know, but, like...
Oh, Ganondorf's cool,
and he's, like... my favorite character in Smash.
Nintendo knows Ganondorf is cool. That's why Zelda's fun.
Ganondorf's so cool, and Surtur is just Ganondorf with an axe on fire.
Yep.
And I don't mind his character because like
new mythical hero for Fire Emblem Heroes 2019. Ganondorf.
It's something.
It's an event.
And that's
it's the Legend of Zelda event. They add Ganondorf to the game.
That's actually something that I'm legitimately surprised. So Nintendo owns all these franchises that people love.
Yeah, friendly reminder that Nintendo owns this game.
Yeah, Nintendo owns this game. Thank you, Nintendo. But so like other gachas have crossover events between franchises.
Right.
Like Fate Go had the one where you got the assassin Ryo Shishinki or whatever.
Skinky.
Who?
I don't know. I don't want to say their names.
I think that was a crossover event.
It was Star Wars. It was.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it was Star Wars and Fate. I was yesterday.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I wanted Darth Vader in Fate Go as a saber. Make it happen.
Anyway.
But like that's something I'm surprised because you have this concept that's like, oh, people coming from other dimensions, like you know like your character comes from another dimension. Why the hell is Mario not in Fire Emblem Heroes?
Do it.
Like
it's like, oh, he's not a Fire Emblem character. Oh, I don't care.
And it's like even if he doesn't fit, you have franchises that do. You've Zelda. Just
put Link in the game.
Just put Link in the game, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. Just put Link, just put Ganon. Make a banner that's like Link, Ganon, Zelda. Give them all a skill that's like Triforce, whatever.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like imagine a C skill. It's like Triforce of Wisdom, Power, and
what a
courage.
tangent this is, by the way.
No, this is fine. This is what I imagined. But like, put Link in the game, all right?
Put Link in the game.
Put Link in the game.
Did you want to say anything about
how long have we been talking?
Quite a bit.
An hour and
10 minutes.
Yeah, about.
We'll wrap it up here soon. Anything you want to say on Mythical Heroes?
Mythical Heroes, they exist now. Kind of talked about them earlier.
Neat.
Whatever. If you don't like anime, don't play this game. I'm just gonna say that.
If you don't like anime, you don't like Fire Emblem, it's probably not the game for you.
Yeah, well, that's like every gacha, but like,
hey, if you do like anime though, this game's great because cute girls exist.
If you like cute anime girls or cute anime
You
guys,
don't even have to be attracted to them. For instance, my favorite unit is my 5-star +10 Soleil, and she's just my daughter, and she kills people, and it's great, and I love her, and she's the light of my life. But like, man, this game's just, if you like anime,
listen, corn in a dress, male corn in a dress.
what corn in a dress is a blessing
Okay,
upon this earth.
okay. As much as I don't like the fact that Camilla was in the Adrift banner, literally every single unit, except for the baby Azura, I'm putting that one to the side.
Putting that one away.
FBI, I see you. Every single unit in the Adrift banner is beautiful.
Yeah,
that includes
they're
Corrin's
gorgeous.
mom, all right? I know what I'm about. If you want to start playing Fae, just do
download
it.
the game.
It's free.
Play it now.
It's-
We've discussed that this game is very
Yeah.
very open to new to the free to play aspect and the new players. It is accessible. All you have to do is pick it up. It's free on the App Store and Google Play Store. You can get it right now.
The main things I suggest you do is do the paralog that gets you Ike.
Right.
Which,
If
if you don't know who Ike is, he's the big beefy man with the sword.
Ike is Captain Fire Emblem.
Martha's Mr. Fire Emblem. Ike is Captain Fire Emblem.
Because he is infamously
When they did the popularity poll before this game came out, he literally won. He literally was
here's
on there
a little
twice.
history lesson about Fire Emblem Heroes. First off, everybody loves Ike. That's just a fact. He's notoriously amongst the Fire Emblem community everybody's favorite lord. The reason for that being is he's the only one that wasn't born in nobility. He was raised from being just a boy, and you get to experience his like rise to becoming like a true hero. But Fire Emblem Heroes came out the first time, and everybody was like, "When is Ike gonna be in the game?" It was
because there was a public popularity poll that we saw the results to, and so Ike is in 2 Fire Emblem games. He's in Path of Radiance and Radiant
Ike
Dawn.
is such a good hero. He took over somebody else's game.
But like he was first and third on that list. I forget who second was.
Doesn't matter.
I forget who second was on the male side, but he was first and third, and then he wasn't in the game at launch. I remember I don't know jack about Fire Emblem. I was like, where the hell is Ike? Because, I played Smash and Ike's cool, but like, where the hell is Ike?
Ike was hot, and everybody wanted him, and everybody's like, "That, where is he?" And then eventually, IS the Madmen, they did it. They released Young Mercenary Ike, and everybody lost their mind. Ragnar being a sword that had distant counter in it was unheard of before, and everybody lost their mind.
And then later down the line?
Later on down the line, we got
everybody likes Ike.
we got
How about you get another one, but this time
we got Choose Your Legends.
An axe.
Yeah, we got Choose Your Legends, and everybody again picked Ike because he's
the
boy, and everybody loves him. And so we got Brave Ike, and he was cool.
And he had an axe,
and
it was
here's the
perfect.
thing. It doesn't stop there, because Ike is just canonically the best hero. So we get Legendary Ike because he's just super good.
They were like, let's introduce this legendary hero concept with one of our OCs. And then somebody at Fire Emblem HQ, which I'm imagining is just a castle, is like, hey guys, so if we just introduce this concept with one of our own OCs, maybe they'll get a little rowdy. I know what we should do.
We should introduce
Let's do it with Ike. So they slapped an earth band.
Ike is still
and they gave
the coolest.
And they gave everybody Ike for free. And this wasn't like little young mercenary Ike. This was gorilla with a sword Ike.
This was buff Ike. This was end of the line Ike, who was like, I fought my way, I have seen many battles, and I will protect you.
This man's out here, he will kill you.
His biceps were so big.
He fights for his friends.
He fights for his friends.
So do the paralog if you're
Get
starting the game.
Ike. He will carry you through your worst days, and he will buy you an ice cream.
I want to say it's like the third... like single chapter, like the single fight paralog.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's like you get Ike. Do the beginning of. You might be tempted to do all of book 1 and then do book 2 and then do book 3. No.
Don't do that.
Play like a little bit of book 2 and
go get Ike.
Yeah, play a little bit of book 2 until you get Freearm. Play a little bit of book 3 until you get Air.
You can't, because remember, you have to unlock.
You have to unlock book 3.
You have to go through book 2 to get to book 3.
Oh,
like, remember, you can't just go through book 1. You have to unlock it chapter by chapter.
Yeah, but
we just don't see that because we've been playing as it goes.
I didn't know you had to unlock book 3 because I know book 2 was available right at the start.
You still have to play through it like sequentially. It's just that since we play as it comes out, we don't notice that.
Okay, whatever. Get Fjorm. I know when you start up a game though, you have access to book 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So get Fjorm, which is like what the first chapter of book 1. It's like 5 fight or book 2. It's like 5 fights. Get your legendary Ike. Go get your free Brave unit. I recommend Veronica, but they're all pretty cool.
I still recommend Veronica just because.
Okay, Veronica is the best one.
Okay, but here's the thing. You want to get Veronica because that is the only version of Veronica we have in the game right now, too.
If you like Veronica.
Well, that's the thing is, like, as you'll see, she plays a large part of the story, and if you care at all about having this unit at ease, I want to say, because you can get her through other means. It's just saying, for a character like this is the reason she was so popular when she came out is because we chose our legend for this. And
we chose one of their OCs.
We chose one of their OCs, and it wasn't a unit we had before. We never got original Veronica. We chose to get it, and we got a version to have.
Yeah, and she's really cool. And there was the forging bonds we didn't talk about. That's cool, but we don't have time to talk about it.
It's a long story. It's better if you just see it yourself.
I like forging bonds. Do you like forging bonds?
I like forging bonds.
Cool.
It's an aspect from the original Fire Emblem games that should have been in the game at the start, but I wasn't mad about. But when they added it, I was like, yeah, this deserves to be here, and I like it.
It felt like it was not missed, but when it was added, it was
a welcome addition.
It was like, why wasn't this already here?
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, get your like 3 really good free units.
Go to town.
Right now, there's a legendary banner with Dancer Azura, who might just be like. She's the best.
She's arena hotness.
She's the best dancer in the game.
Yeah, she's also arena hotness.
She's the best dancer in the game. You can do some stupid broken stuff with her. I've seen like builds where it's like, oh, you can just get this character. You just give this character +10 to all their stats all the time because dancing. Pull on that banner. And
to not go into it very much, you'll see all of this when you get in there. You'll see all of it. If you want more explanation, you can look it up on the wiki. There's plenty of resources to look at if you want to get more in depth with the game.
Game Press is a good website.
The Reddit.
The subreddit, definitely. The subreddit is good because memes.
You can also join their Discord and talk to people as well who are also within the community.
Yeah, there's definitely resources out there if you look. You will have more fun with this game if you are playing it with others, whether that is via like Reddit or Discord, or like Mathis and I play it and like I text him.
It's better with friends too because you have somebody to talk about it and converse about stuff going on.
And I mean the best time to start is whenever because it's free, but like legitimately it's a legendary hero banner right now. Start now, spend all your orbs on it. It's a cool banner.
Right.
You can get all the cool summer units like Camilla and Tiki and Takumi. Summer Takumi was kind of whatever, but anyway, that's all for our first episode.
One last thing. Yeah. Remember when you're playing these games? Remember to have fun.
Oh yeah.
They're still games at the end of the day. You don't have to play them. Spend your time on. If you don't enjoy it, spend your time on something else. But we're telling you about these because they're fun.
Also, if you have a gambling addiction.
Oh yeah. Also, if you have a gambling addiction, make sure
probably don't play. If you have a gambling addiction, probably don't play these games.
Right. Gachas are very.
They're slot machines.
Right. Gachas are very, very dangerous in the ability to spend just a lot of money, and if you can't control yourself, don't do it.
And especially since it's since it's all digital spending, you don't feel that as much. You don't feel it. So definitely
be careful.
Especially with. But yeah. So be careful. Have fun. Happy New Year, because
Happy New Year from us at the time we're recording this.
2019 is only almost 3 hours old.
Right. And thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Good luck with your future gacha pulls.
Yep. See you in Street Fighter 5, everybody.
We couldn't let it happen, could we? Hey, it's me, Ryu from Streets. My favorite things are water without any ice.
The new season
of The Simpsons. And dirt.